you sure can shake that tail without fail, darlings. Ooh, did you feel the microcosmic moving into the macrocosmic as you participated in that sweet surrender to the Mother Earth's fine and divine, ever-expansive glow? Don't you know the energy of love inside of you coming up through your root, coming up through your feet, coming down from the sky, coming around from all around? I mean, wow, man. You live in an energy field now, man, surrounded by the divine feminine form of love. Everywhere you look, everywhere you see, everywhere you sit, everywhere you walk, everywhere you run, baby. You cannot outrun the mother love because, ooh, mama, she's right here with us all the time. In fact, I hate to say this, but it's what we're made of. Yes, indeedy. Each one of us comes from a mother, and that is heavily symbolic and metaphorical too, man, because what that represents is the Mother Earth coming forth in you as you emote forth from her bowlic existence, man, right out of the center of her beautiful, ever-loving heart. You notice it takes an act of love, generally speaking, to bring forward a human being. Now, I mean, you know, it may not be the coolest, it may not be the keenest, sometimes it is, baby, but, you know, that's how you get here, babies. I mean, it ain't always immaculate conception. Even that could be pretty ecstatic if you think about it. I mean, come on, man. You know, doing it with a dude called, you know, God. I mean, wow. I mean, talk about making babies and how, man. Oh, we love the mother love. It's an expansive thing. It's a very forgiving thing in that it holds no judgment on anything. Especially here in the 3D where it don't count anyway, man. That's why, you know, people can be such shites and airheads and a-holes because, well, you know, it's permissible here. You know, you can get away with anything there because once you check out, well, nothing's held against you anymore, though you might knock yourself down to the floor for being such a dingus. But guess what? You're free, baby. No matter how bad you be. I'm telling you, man, you know, the moment you want to wise up, the moment you want to wake up, the moment you want to feel the mother love in your own divine presence, your own divine heart, I don't care if you're the devil herself, man. She's pretty cool too, man, when she wakes up. See, so any one of us, all of us, can have this moment, man. Can just bring it on back. Can just let the mother attack come from. I mean, Elvis knew this. And he's the king, man. You know, what did he do? He circumvented and subverted himself to the mother energy all the doggone time. And it became the very basis of his rock and roll hard, man, you know. You got to think about it. Now, there's something heavily metaphorical in that, too, isn't there? Yes, indeed, because it's right there in you and me, too, and the rest of this gang, man, you know, except we stuff it down and try to push it around and try to pretend it's not there. You know, talk about abusing the child. You've been abusing your child for a while now, because the child, as any child does, till it knows better, and you know, that ain't never going to grow into that any better, man. No, we're going to stay right there in that baby-like flow. We already know the mother loves you no matter what she's like on the outside. On the inside is nothing but pure love. You know, because you just came from there, man. It's like paradise, right? See? Now, again, heavy metaphors, babies. Heavy metaphors. Don't let them weight you down, though. Let them lighten you up, okay? The heaviness, just in the deepness of their representation. So it ain't really heavy at all. You know, it's just profound, as we call it, man. Heavy's just a terminological term that us hippies took on a long time ago. When somebody said something really profound, we would say, wow, heavy, man. You know. In fact, we still do, most of us anyway. Well, there's a few of us left. Come on, we didn't all die off back there in the day. Some of us actually come around after a while. It just took a lot of doing, you know, because, well, when you've been wild and crazy and free in your younger days, well, you're going to stay that way for the rest of forever, no matter how restricted your life closes in around you, you know, and it tries to pound you and, you know, old pucky, once you've been in this truck, you're riding in it forever, man. I mean, that's why Grandpaw here, Grandpa Coyote, by the way, here at Spring Creek on the Hazy Radio Network, man, they're rocking this little radio show you've ever come to know, right? Well, aren't you glad you tuned in anyway? Little snoot. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Don't be a hateful being, man. Just really notice that there's a lot of love in your hate. Well, there is. I mean, if you love to hate, you got love going on now, don't you? And guess what? Love creates the hate. So you can feel it and know what it is and get over it, okay? Come on, baby, shit. I mean, I tell you, these people that think they're so superior as to go and take another person's life or to put anybody down, which is life taken in its own way, isn't it? You think about it, man. Cheap shots, they call it, right? Yeah, see? But you start to realize all this crap. That's how you step out of the 3D. You don't have to live that way no more. You don't have to be an a-hole. You don't have to be a victimized being either, man. You don't have. You get up off the floor and look that old victimizer right in the eye and say, "I got a big surprise for you, dude. Do that, whatever it is, or whatever it is. It might be something like a great big giant lizard or something, a very treacherous looking dragon." Breathing fire and smoke and flame and shit, and just trying to scare the hell out of everybody and kill off all those guys. The only reason why the dragon ever developed a fiery breath is because these dumb shits that come to fight him would be wearing these great big old heavy steel suits, man. Shoot, he couldn't resist, I mean, he or she, because there's dragons of every sort, of course, We happen to have one right here on our crew, a dragon, man, you betcha. But it's Puff the Magic Dragon. You know what he does for us? He holds the energy of love right there in his great big old poundy belly, and he flies overhead. And when he breathes fire, he breathes out this love. I mean, it's like gold glitter, and it just falls down on everything and absorbs into you rather immediately. See, he's part of the crew here, man, you see? So don't be afraid of anything. Just fall in love with everything, okay? Especially that which you hate. So if you're looking there at one of them symbolic persons in high places that just is about the stupidest a-hole that ever did this or that or the other, etc., man, just see how much fun you're having hating this son of a gun. What an unfair, unjust little mother's son. Well, babies, you're the one, see? And if it's happening outside of you, there's an element of it in you, too. See that orneriness? That stupid orneriness? Well, that's what you're seeing reflected outside of you in the 3D. Deal with it, baby. Get back to that Spring Creek moment, back to where it all begins. Find the unity nature inside your own soft, sweet little heart. Recognize that the heart is the most intelligent being on the face of anything, let alone this planetary reality or your beautiful face, okay? I can't help it. I'm a little flirtatious today. It's Free Day Friday, man, and, it's summer, man, and it's hot as hell out there. I hope you guys are managing to find places to cool off. I'm telling you what, we've been up in the 80s and 90s already, which is really, really unusual up here at 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. I tell you, girl and guy. But, just like everything else, got to see the love in it. Mother Earth's just trying to tell us, well, get out of them low places, get back up to the high places, because, me and the sun are getting it on right now, and it's going to heat things up a little bit. You got a little more protection up there in the high places than you do in the low places. In fact, a lot of places, she's trying to burn you out already, isn't she, man? Just telling you, get the hell out of this place. This ain't where you need to be. It's going to be 175 in the desert, don't you see? Go, get out of here before I burn it all down, man. Because she's going to do it too, I mean, what's coming around's coming around, but it ain't disastrous, baby. It's us getting goaded into seeing the love that we are and becoming that. I mean, come on, babies. I mean, just learn to rock with, roll with the rock. When the rock hits you hard, roll with it, baby, and it won't crunch you. It'll just go over the top of you, and you'll make a deep impression on the earth. And when you get up, you'll feel like you've been loved like you've never been loved before. And you'll notice there ain't a scratch on you or a bruise or anything, man, you know. And a 10-ton boulder just rolled over the top of it. You're like my buddy. Ran his car off the road down there in that hot old desert one time, you know, trying to drive himself too long. Probably smoking a little too much weed anyway. Got droopy, you know, and ran off the road and rolled his car. And he remembers distinctly seeing that car rolling over the top of him, but somehow through some little divine presence of angel synchronicity, angelic synchronicity, we should say. It's like, you know, the thing did roll. He sat in a little 12-inch depression in the ground. Somebody dug a ditch there at one time or another. That's what was left of it, you know. And that just happened to be where he landed as the car rolled over him. Isn't that cool? See? But that's the way we all can be, man. We can be that charmed. Because if you look at it, you know, and get over all the negative bullshit you're thinking about, damn, I wrecked my car a lot, you know, and look at the blessing. Wow, I didn't die in that where everybody else would, man. You know, see, you know, I mean, it's all in how you approach your attitude in the 3D. If you got some gratitude going on, if you can find something beneficial in everything you've ever done, not necessarily for yourself, but it always is. It's beneficial to you and everyone else too. Or there's nothing you would do otherwise. See, that's how intelligent your heart is. And, you know, even though this may be a sub-psychological presence we're speaking about, subconscious, if you will, I never considered it sub, you know. Well, I can't say never, but understand, I always saw that as something really grand. And I knew if we could access it, man, we could cure anything and bless everything and become just what we are, because then you would have a unity presence inside. Your mind wouldn't be pulling in 4 directions, and most of it working in the underground just on automatic pilot. See, somewhere way back when, somebody flipped a switch. Says, okay, we don't need our intelligence anymore. Click. We're going to go on automatic pilot. We're going to sleepwalk through all these lives. I just barely have a little of our presence there, like the droopy old pilot looking out the window as the autopilot flies it along. Something like that. That's how we live here. You think you got such a full and present life? Shit. You're just looking out the windshield. You ain't even got out in life yet. This old plane took off and it hasn't landed, but it never is going to either, because it's just, well, it's in process of transformation, you see. And our normal housing is outside this 3D anyway. I mean, you know, though it's really clear when you can see it, dear. See, when you start to appreciate the little miracles in your life, you're the Godfather, and nobody, I mean, they've taken shots at you, but nobody's been able to get you. I mean, come on, baby. Don't ascribe that to your dark masters. See the angelic presence in that, man, you know, and then you'll start to see maybe a little bit of charm in your own life and understand why you had to take on such a shitty role. But guess what? You're in the ideal position to reformate it all, see, and to end people's fascination with money right along with it. And you know exactly what to do right there in your heart. Yes, you do, man. Now, I'll tell you a little story that might give you a little more depth and dimension, you know, add a little sizzle to your gizzle. But anyway, you know, I had a friend one time, he inherited a bunch of money, many millions of dollars, you know. And he played the game for a little while in his young 20s, early 30s, but it was eating at him and weighing him down, and never could quite figure it out, and then he got it. That, you know, the only reason you inherit this shit is to bless the lives of others, because that's how you bless yourself. See, you got the blessing already in the financial sustenance, which is crap anyway, you know, and that's how you find out. When you finally get what you always dreamed about and it turns into a nightmare, then you know that's not it. You know, there's love in it, and love that allowed you to experience it. But now, as you start to wake up, you see that you got all this heavy-ass money, so you can lighten up the burden in other people's life. Otherwise, it's just going to pound you down into the ground, and you're going to become a zombie, worse than a zombie. You're going to die inside long before your body lies down. And, you know, some other energies are going to take over you and do some really mean things, too. You want to be known for that? Or do you want to be known as the most generous mother trucker to ever live, man? To ever put their hand over a gear shift lever and haul ass, see? Have some class, baby. Along with your clout. You know, let it all out. Let's see your real person, you know, the one that you developed all this harsh, sharp veneer over the top of and made everybody so scared they don't even want to look at you, man. Wet their pants when they do. Do you really want to be feared like that? Or do you want the girlies chasing you down the street saying, hey, old man, you are so sharp. What's going on today? Stuff like that, wouldn't you say? Do you want to be loved by everybody, not because they have to, but because they automatically just do, because you're such a shining star, and that shining star's coming through? See? There's a big difference, man. You can still be the godfather and the godmother if you want to be, whatever it is that the role you're playing, man. But, you know, it's living beyond the restrictions of the 3D quite severely, wouldn't you say? It's opening up and letting a whole new way come out to play. It's getting it on right here in the light of day, and not waiting till the darkness to go creeping around and taking people down. Enough of that, you know. You want to get over all of that and the heavy burden that goes with it? Well, bless the people that surround you, man. Hand it out a little bit here, a little bit there. Give them a Cadillac. You know, look at the king. What did he do when he had a lot of money? He gave it away. He'd give people cars all over the place. He'd overtip everybody, etc., etc., etc. A generous guy. Surrounded by demons and darkness and people that just wanted to steal him blind, but because he was so cool, you couldn't do it. That's why he's still the king. And you're just a dumbass godfather. You got no power, you know. People are afraid of you. When they get over their fear, you're done anyway here, you know what I mean? That kind of shit ain't working too well anymore, is it? People are wising up. They're waking up, and they're not going to circumvent themselves to your tyranny any longer. You know, because you don't want to be that way anyway. That's why you're helping them wake up inevitably, sometimes just by being a little more badass and getting them to the point where they just ain't going to take it anymore. And pretty soon, you'll either have people coming after you and, you know what they'll do, or they'll all just bail out on you, man. They'll go live in some other place, and they won't put up with your shit anymore. One morning you'll wake up, and there's nobody there to boss around, because they're done with that side of town. See, there's new cities being built inside of our heart right now, all across the face of this earth. Yeah, they're little round domed-in cities, you darn right, but they're like a glow light in the darkness, if you know what I mean. They're just these shining little emporiums that we create out of pure imagination, the heart's imagination. In conjunction with the mind, the soul presence, and the bodily person, all of us is one. One energy, one love, one strength, one desire. And that's to be what? Return to the heart of our mother love. To let Mother Earth flow through us in creative, fashionable style. To strut her stuff up and down the aisle, and everyone doesn't just applaud her. I mean, in their heart, they're one with that beautiful mother. No matter what she's wearing or not wearing, it don't matter, man. That's just window dressing, you see. And it doesn't matter. What matters is the love that we see coming back from her to me, to you, to little Obi-Wan Kenobi, into all of creation. Every bit of it, you see. And it's the most generous thing there could ever be. Look around you. This is a very abundant planet. Despite all the pain and hardship and heartache we've committed upon her, It's time to let loose, let go of all the hidden technologies, don't you know? Among other things, we can clean this place up in 5 minutes. What we got to do right now, we're doing it too, baby. Shutting the nukes down, baby. It's going to cause some hardship here and there for just a wee bit, but the nukes are going. The nuclear power plants I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about anything destructive. I'm just saying that as a matter of course they will be shut down because they're such dangerous little pieces of shit. And we got to stop it, you see. So a lot of people whose energy is relying on that, guess what? We'll bring along a little something, magically so, that'll remedy that little bit of temporary downageness, don't you know? Because we've got an astounding technology that's been hidden in the background that would empower every person on the earth to be their own person and to provide their transportation, their housing, etc., wherever they may be. I mean, there's pure magic. It's way beyond what we've ever seen in the 3D because it's multidimensional. You know, and some of these greedy old pigs, like the Godfather we've been talking to, the Godmother too, that we've been talking to here for a little bit, but some of those people just downright, selfish. They wanted to keep all that magic for themselves. They'd crap on this planet and then go find a paradise planet somewhere. See, that was the plan. It didn't quite work out that way now, man, did it? Because your journey's not over until you find the attitude of gratitude bringing you forward as a generous soul presence in this reality. Pretty simple, really, for every person that lives. That's the transition you seek. That's the place. That's what causes any heartache you're feeling right now, any emptiness, any heavy burdens, when you've offed a bunch of people, sure you're going to wear that. What would you expect? It's 3D, man. But the moment you can see the heart's activity, even in that crap, that evil, nasty nonsense, you're empowered then. And you can more than make up for it, because those soul presences you've taken out here are coming back right now in personal presence to bless you the moment you open up and embrace you and thank you for getting them out of this miserable shithole when you did. You don't realize. There's a larger level being played here everywhere, and we're all being played by it. And that's what makes us innocent in our reality. That's how we can let go of such nasty-ass stuff. Just get on with the flow, don't you know? It's Spring Creek. It's a moment of truth from a little sound booth. A clear drink of water, baby, Aided and abetted by our sweet Mary J., who is, of course, symbolic of the Mother Earth's presence in us all, and the enlightenment that goes with it, and the extreme and maximum generosity. See, I see money dissolving away any old time. You see, people think there's going to be an economic crash. Well, what's crashing is the whole idea of it. The idea that that you can buy yourself into anything or buy your way out of anything, etc., that you need to buy anything, that you need to provide for your children by circumventing yourself to a harsh existence you wouldn't normally put up with for a minute. But for the money, see, that whole idea has to die. And it is dead already. It's just a matter now of recognizing it and letting the generous nature come forward in each and every heart and soul presence here. Then we'll do what we're here for, dear, and we won't be hurting each other anymore. Not in any way. Because we'll be living far, just a little bit of gratitude, just a little shift in attitude, and we're far more synchronized than we ever were before. And we're living in the divine harmony. We can even hear its presence radiating from inside of us. And inevitably, every voice on this planet, every human person, and all the animals and trees and birds and bees that surround us, etc., will be singing their heart's song, inevitably, because the vibration begins inside, and it gets stronger and stronger, and you become more expansive, and inevitably your mouth opens and your voice emotes forward like Great Spirit. When it sings, things are created. Everything is a harmony, a divine presence. See? Now you're free. You know what a Free Day Friday here is now, don't you? Hey, starting to find out anyway. Thanks for the participation, wouldn't you say? Oh, baby, you're just so hot. All of us. Just, wow. Don't be setting off no firecrackers on the 4th of July. Scaring the dogs, man. Make this the last time we ever see explosive crap like that in this reality. Let's make this the most beautifully and effusive explosion of nuclear love there could ever be. See, that's what is arising here one way or the other, and there is no avoiding it. So I say you can run, but you can't outrun the mother, baby, because she's what you're made of. Anything that says you can escape it is an illusion. Big time. Little slice of coyote medicine coming your way here in that coyote medicine show we call Spring Creek, don't you know? The place where it all just begins, right there inside our soft, sweet little hide, baby. What a ride. God, you're so hot. There's nothing like a free day Friday here in that Coyote sort of way on that Coyote medicine show we call Spring Creek. So filled with rock and roll, it can't help but move you body and soul and bring your heart out, get it all out of that aching and get your body to shaking and a quaking. Ooh, baby. And going with the flow, don't you know? Here on the Hazy Radio Network, you got Grandpa Coyote along with the inspiration of the divine and quite wise Obi-Wan Kenobi, a whiny little weenie dog if ever there was one, but oh so cool, man. He teach you all about love in about 3 seconds too, man. He just walk right up to you with that little tail wagging and those eyes are looking at you, and there's no way you can resist, man. I'm telling you. He's a little orb. That's why I keep him around, man. He's just a little orb of love. He's just such a fine little hound, you know, and so satisfied and content in his life. It don't take a whole lot to make a dog happy. Sweet love, good food, you know, diet and exercise, go walking with the old man every now and then, stuff like that. Wow. And how, man, we all should live so good, shouldn't we? Well, that's what a Free Day Friday is all about here on the Hazy Radio Network at Spring Creek. Yes, indeed. From the beginning, your moment of truth from this little sound booth. We help you get it on, baby. Day after day, Monday through Friday, but especially on this Free Day Friday, because now we got to go out and really shake our tail. We're just practicing here and getting warmed up, man. And we giving them hail already, ain't we? Big old wads of ice coming down from the sky saying, I'm going to blind you guys. I'm going to hit you on the head. Because once one of those little divine hails bonks you on the head, you wish you were not dead because you're coming back to life, okay? Instead of killing you, just bring you around, clown. Because that's what you're waiting for, a little bonk on the head, ain't it? I thought so, man, because otherwise you're still stuck there in the haze, you know, and not getting it clear, dear. We can't have that. Not here. Not at Spring Creek, man. Not in Colorado, man. We all live the Rocky Mountain High here. If you don't believe me, just ask Joe Walsh, man. He'll tell you. John Denver, too, you know. I mean, come on, guys. We are advocated by some pretty high spirits here now. Aren't you glad the Grandpa and Okie are here in the daylight to share the great light of the Rocky Mountain High with you? I thought so, too, man. It's about time you were catching on, John and Jane, you jungle Jane, you. Oh, man, I tell you, there ain't nothing like a Jane in the jungle, too. I don't blame Tarzan one little bit. I'd be pounding my chest and singing like a chimpanzee, too, man, and saying Angawa all the time, trying to get the animals to turn around, come back, you know what I mean, or go that way, or go this, you know, all the good stuff, man, and eating bananas and papayas and coconuts and shit. I mean, come on, guys. Of course, you'd have to have, you know, a bunch of Janes and a bunch of, you know, Tarzans because, well, it's not much fun. There's just two of you and a couple of chimpanzees. I mean, that'll do for a movie. But for real life, well, shit. You got to have your vibrational harmonic family around you. You got to be, you know, part of the band, man, you know, whether you're the drummer, the skin on the drum, or the stick that beats it, or the string on the guitar. Oh, my goodness, whatever you are a rock star. Living in the jungle, or living on the beach, or living way up high in the mountain like I do, man. All of it just sets you free wherever you may be. And wherever you may be, you're moving to another place quite naturally. Inside, outside, heck, whatever, just take the ride. Just let it flow. Just go with that flow, don't you know? Big changes on this rare earth these days, eh? I see the dirtiest of sinners coming around and being saintly in every way, don't you? I mean, we just got the Godfather, the Godmother a few minutes ago. I mean, how much better can it get on a little radio show? Well, a lot better, let me tell you. We're just warming up, baby. Next week, you want to be here because it's going to be the whole nuclear explosion, dear. And elksters, too, and all you cougars that chase them around and stuff like that. God, you human beings are, you know, I don't know why you ever frown. You're having so much fun getting it on the run and, you know, celebrating life in all these unusual and odd sort of ways. Oh my goodness, guys. You did make me hang my head sometimes, but other times you make me smile like a son of a gun too, you know. Because I'm so in love with you, whatever you do. I mean, I'm talking about my own personal self. You know, this little divine soul presence inside of this tiny little carcass, this shrimpo of a man that I've become, man. But sometimes I feel like a giant too, and very clumsy. And kind of rummy in the head, man. Oh, darlings, I'm sure glad you're here, babies. You're helping me get it clear. And as long as I can get it clear, then you can too, dear. See, we kind of work together on this thing. You getting the idea? See, it's Tarzan and Jane and the chimpanzees and the elephants. What do they tell you in their own odd comedic sort of way? You get along with everything anytime you want to. All of creation's there to serve you and for you to be of service too. See, that's the simplicity of Jane in the Jungle, man, and Tarzan, too. It's all about what Mother Earth can provide and do for you. See, now a lot of people, especially guys, you cross-eyed old fools, you know, take one look at Jane in the Jungle. I want to be there, too. You know, and they just don't think about anything but, you know, wow, how outdated can you guys get? Now, come on, get over it, you know, and let's get on with it. You ever heard about love? You ever heard about life? You ever heard about living? You ever heard about rocking and rolling? Well, certainly you may have. You ever lived it? Well, you better stay tuned in here to this little old spring creek coming to you from high in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, don't you know? This is the one way to get in the flow, darlings, and know something more than lusting after, you know, somebody else's body. And you ladies, too, having power over these dum-dums. I mean, that's sarcastic, isn't it? I thought so, man. I mean, you know, it's an ironic comedy, of course, and poetic as all get out, too, but it's rather stupid the way we've been playing it, too. Just like the money system, which is based upon that same idea. Men lust after women, and women lust after men's money, and so forth. Life is a comedy, you got to admit. Babies, we'd be all a lot better off. We got back to living in the jungle with the chimpanzees and you know, Jane and everybody else. I think the best Jane there ever was, besides the early ones. I love them 20s and 30s babes. They were just rocking, man. You know, they're just vintage, you know. Of course, we all are, but anyway, it was just, beautiful in black and white. And then all of a sudden there was Bo Derek, you know, and what was his name? Robert Blake. Yeah, her old man putting her out there naked in the jungle. Oh my goodness, I tell you what, Tarzan and the Primitive Man, you know, was obliterated by that movie. I tell you what, babies, because, you know, there's no way you can possess that unless you feel it in yourself. That kind of beauty, that kind of wonder, that kind of mystical life, see. If you want it really, see, Hollywood's a great big old metaphor and a real comedy, too, with heavy irony. So was that beautiful movie that dude made, Mr. Robert Blake, of his old lady being Jane in the Jungle, man, you know. I tell you, if I had an old lady like that, I'd probably put her in the movies too, man, and all over the place, man. We'd make so much money. How about that for hypocrisy, honey? Is that good? Yeah, well, I tell you what, we're getting it on just like old Jungle Jane does, man. Because the one thing you got to recognize in all those characterizations, who was the most confident person in the movie? It certainly wasn't Tarzan. Well, maybe the chimpanzee. I mean, it's kind of a tie between the chimpanzee and Jane, but I think Jane, because she had a little more refined brain and a more refined heart for certain, well, I think she kind of had her way in that reality, just like she does in this one. But see, when you're finally not feeling so empty and lustful anymore, when you're finally in this place where that's satisfied inside, then you can find out what real love is. As you won't be clinging and clawing at one another and beating each other up because of it. You won't have needs or wants or desires. I mean, if anything is going to stoke the fires, it's complete satisfaction. That gives you traction in life that you never had before. That gets your feet on the ground very sacredly. And every step you take is just like romance, baby. Every bit of it, and you feel all of it. You know, I go walking here every now and then, of course, with the old dog and so forth, you know. I like to vibe out the land, let it vibe out me, and go through the flow of it, don't you see? It's kind of a whole lot slower than trucking, but it's a whole lot more fun too, baby, because you get the flow, you get to see what's there, the rhythm and harmony of it, don't you know? I mean, when you're walking the earth, you know, in a rather primitive place like where I live, you know, you start to get the full picture of life, the full picture of the love that just surrounds you. It's in the tiny little bug crawling across the floor. It's in the bat flying across the ceiling, don't you know? It's in the eagle up above the mountain there. It's in everything. The mountain too, baby, especially. And don't you hear the mountains calling you? I thought so, too, you know. Those of you who do better be getting on over here. You don't have to come to Crestone, but wherever the mountains send you, Mammoth, it's Crestone great. And by the way, speaking of Crestonia, here in Colorado, the place of origination of this here Spring Creek broadcast on the Hazy Radio Network. Oh, darlings, we love you so. But, baby, you know, there's a family reunion going on inside of your heart right now. Because first you're reassembling the family of your own essential love and getting it pure and getting it just right. That's why we rock you till you take off in flight here on the Hazy Radio, because that's what you need to do, don't you know, to get free, baby, and then to be, baby, because you can't be until you're free. As long as you're working under any obligation or commitment or any kind of pressure or pressuring yourself even, you know, you're still not quite there, see. But if you can appreciate what the pressure is trying to tell you, you can release that pressure immediately and just see the thought behind it, the seed of it. What's it really telling you? Why do you want to get on the go? What's giving you that old itch, don't you know? Well, it's the need, if you got to have it, to fulfill yourself, to be home, to be perfectly content in this life, no matter what's going on around you, to be like the eye at the center of the hurricane, man, the center of the worst storm you ever seen, because, boy, it's really got out of hand here, hasn't it? But that's what we all need to be, is that little calm eye at the center of the storm. It's the eye that creates all. The E-Y-E and the single letter I, you know, either one of them or both together, because that's the same thing, because that's why they sound the same. I is a person having a personal experience, and I is everything that lives in everything else, sees it and bees it and loves it into being, see? That's exactly who we are. That's what we be here on a Free Day Friday. Taking it away like Led Zeppelin, wouldn't you say? Just rocking our little heart out as if we had something really good to play. Now do a little exploration in a multi-dimensional sort of way as we participate in a little more tunage. It makes your heart lodge here in that rock and roll sort of way. And let's see what you do with it, baby. Because I've been waiting around for a long time to see you guys coming around, because I was around a long time ago, so much so that I fell right back down and had to start all over again. But I'm catching up to you, okay? Because it's a Free Day Friday, and I want to be free too, okay? Just like you. And you, and you, and you, and, well, look at those lights popping on all across this face of this earth, baby. We got them tuned in, probably even in China today, man, I'll bet you. Ooh, because they got to hear it too, man. They got to feel it, really. That's the deal. That's what makes this here radio show real, is what you feel as you're rocking your heart out and living all about, learning all about, living all about the life that is a living work of art. Go with the poetic flow, don't you know? And you'll be pure poetry, too. Or so says Grandpa. And what does he know? Well, a little bit, man, because he's aided and abetted by lots of unusual energies here. Just like you, girl and guy. Ooh, babies, I can feel those wings trying to ruffle out, babies. I know it. It's happening. It's happening, baby. Maybe even this weekend you'll create that little miracle you've been waiting for. Forever and a day, and you'll find that contented place, and you'll just draw naturally to you everything that you ever wanted to be, see, do, play with, whatever your heart desires becomes the fires of creation. And in truth, it's not a desire. It's a happiness. It's a contentment. It's a complete satisfaction with life. And then And then the story will continue throughout the day as we continue live and spontaneous here on that hazy radio network. Grandpa Coyote, Okiwan Kenobi, Jungle Jane, Mary Jane, Tarzan too. We got 'em all here, baby. How about you? You here too? Thought so. Because one day, real soon, in fact, it may be right now, this is the moment, and how? Can you hear it? Hey, the whole doggone earth singing Let the Sun Shine In. I mean, every voice arising, because that is the song of the heart. And as good as the fifth dimension, we love you guys. Ooh, I want to run away with you, Marilyn. Anyway, yeah, I'd say, baby, you're shining brightly today, because this is the way, man. You get out in the sun today, have some fun today, over the weekend too, baby. Just grow and glow, 'cause you're growing. And growing what? A new heart. The one that's always been there, but the one that you've been taught to deny and push away and think it's a weak thing 'cause it's going to get you hooked up romantically, or otherwise you'll start to love money or something. And the next thing you know, you're down the tubes, baby. You see, that's... the backwards love of the 3D, isn't it? Yeah. But now you can see, you know what love really is. You know what love can be and what it can create for you, too. Right here in this moment of ever-expansive love, where all the joy of the universe is collected and gathered right there in your heart. And shared widely, too, the same way the sun shines bright on everything, everyone, and brings forward the life of love in its own dancing style. Even in the middle of the night, the sun's still shining bright. Just on the other side of the planet right now, you see. But what about when this earth loses her density? Will there still be night? Nope, there's only daylight. See, she's in that process now, and so are you, and me too, and Okiwan Kenobi, and the Blue Buffalo, and Puff the Magic Dragon, and the Little Green Man, and all the ancient saints, and all the angels too. We're all in this phase of transitional glory, man. And glory is the word. Glory meaning, well, finally we're satisfied with what we see, with what we be, with what we are right now. In this and how moment of ever-expansive love, when you realize that really is what you're made of. And there in the softening heart, the opening heart, that's letting all of its guardians dissolve down, 'cause it's bringing itself around. In unity we are found. In unity is our strength. In one person is the strength of all because of unity. And what does unity mean? That means we work in a singular energy field called life. And we're all synchronized in it. And all our song of the heart does is bring it into being. That's all. It's just the very source of creation. For all live in vibration. Living love, as they say. Love in motion. See why we get you rocking? See why we get you up off your little chair, off the wall there, and get you dancing bear? It's a good feeling, isn't it? See? It's good to be free. It's good to be set free. And it's good to be tuned in to Koyote.tv real soon. Coming up, babies. We got all kinds of good stuff in the offing for you, babies. Because we just like to off all of it, okay? Off all the old reality and bring up the new, babies, because that's what we do here on the Hazy Radio Network at the old Spring Creek, the headwaters. Your moment of truth, the place where it all begins, the rock that is the roll that gets the rock to rockin', don't you know, and gets it on the roll. Medicine, every day, for your heart and soul. These Monday through Friday, we do take the strong ends off, and sometimes a weekend too, okay? I think we will be here on the 4th of July. Depends on what time the parade is down there in town. I gotta be around for that, We're gonna have girls and floats and firecrackers and stuff. Oh, no firecrackers. But anyway, all that kind of 4th of July kind of stuff. And, we don't celebrate necessarily Ham-erica, because Ham-erica is just that. It's a ham compared to what it ought to be. It's just hamming it up, don't you see? Kind of an illusion in this reality, yet it was based on the very principles of love. And therefore, that's what it's bringing forward, on that Independence Day. That means you become dependent on your ever-loving heart, wouldn't you say? That's what real independence is. And we declare it right here, right now, today, on this Free Day Friday, don't we, babies? You betcha. Because we got it on. Our heart is singing our song. And all we got to do is let it catch up to you. Catch up to me, too. And, hey, babies, we won't be blue ever again. Well, I haven't been blue in well, not in 35 seconds or so, anyway. Oh, I'm just blue for you today. But since we're all gathered right here, my blues have gone away, and all I see is the pure blue light of golden love in the creative heart. Oh, that little spark that starts it all, yeah. The subatomic, subprotonic, sub, to the most macro of the micro, the most micro of the macro, the tiniest little speck of love there could ever be, coming forward naturally in all the creation that surrounds it. That's you. That's me. That's all that live in this reality. That's our personal experience of it. And that's what we're here for too, kids. So you better enjoy it, okay? Circle up with your tribe. Follow the vibe, man, of the song of your heart and be where you are. Because life is this living work of art. And babies, you're going to make some real brush strokes today. I can see it coming. Because it's already here, see? The painting's complete, but we're still working on it, man. Isn't that beautiful? I love it so. The comedy, the poetry, the symmetry, and the synchronicity of the divine harmony, bringing us together naturally. The people's power returns to every heart that lives. And in generosity, we give to one another because we got so darn much. We're overflowing with it, babies. Yeah. Start with right where you are and love it so. Because you know it's valuable. That without you, this life would not be. Without your perception, no one else could see. And no one else could hear the divine song of the heart that you got so clear, dear. See what you're here to share? And a lot more than that, too, babies. Ooh, we've only just begun. Here, dancing in the sun. Ooh, and having such a great time of it, too. I just want to celebrate. How about you? Join me, then, in this circle of love here on the Hazy Radio Network as we assemble our heart in a single, unified form of conscious presence, and each being present here today. In whatever way, all across this beautiful planet, this beautiful Mother Earth of ours. She loves it when her children sing, don't you? I do too.